Shalom to elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. I want to give all praise to Barak, Atha, Yahawah, Barak, Atha, Yahawashi, Barak, Atha, Yahawah, Barak, Atha, Yahawashi. Got to give all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone who led me to this truth, who have been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, and fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all who are part of the hopeful elect. Lord willing, we be part of that number. Lord willing, this be edifying to those who fear in the name of the Lord and striving to show forth the lives, show forth the Lord's judgment and show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5, and it's not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. So the other day I did a camp, and I was listening to some of it, but it was very windy, very, very windy, but I wanted to leave it up just, to show the flock that, I was out there, because it's inevitably who we're doing this for. We're to serve Bahasham, Yahawashi, and guide the flock to the best of our abilities, whether that be one or two people or how many other people the Lord brings across. We just want to make sure we are useful to the cause of Bahasham, Yahawashi, to exalt his name in the earth. So I left it up there, but I'm going to go redo it to where it can be heard. And Lord willing, I wanted to do it before I went to the plantation, but woke up a little late. So Lord willing, I can go do it tonight when I get out of the plantation. And I'm going to try to double down. Lord willing, I can double down Wednesday and do an extra long camp and get in there and do some more, have some more camps. So, it's all by the Spirit, whatever the Lord calls me to do at that time. And also to get into some studying, get into some more studying. That's what we need to be doing, searching and studying the scriptures, listen to the elders and apostles as normal. That should be normal for you to be listening to the elders and apostles. And other brethren likewise, in Great Millstone and other like-minded brothers. So I want to just get into a video about some topics that the Lord put the Spirit on me to go bring across and filter in some scriptures. And Lord willing, this be edifying to the flock. So another storm happened very recently. It says sky forces hit Thailand. Worst hailstorm in Chiang Mai and Lampang. So we'll watch a little bit of this. We're going to restart it. Salakia. Okay. Let's lock in. We're going to restart it real quick so we can get in there. Yeah.
Several areas in the northern Thailand, including Chiang Mai and Lampang, were hit by a hailstorm over the weekend, despite a recent cloud-seeding attempts by the Air Force to prevent hail from forming in the clouds.
Yeah, that's a storm right there.
In Chiang Mai, summer storm
Doing all that damn screaming, man.
In 4 districts on Saturday, March 18th, according to officials.
Weak.
The local office of the Department of Disaster Prevention and Mitigation said yesterday that hailstorms were reported across 7 chambers in Mairin, Buang, San Kamphaeng, and Sansai districts.
False gods.
In Chiang Mai's Muang district, hailstorms damaged 578 houses and farmland in Suthep Sud district.
Jacking shit up.
Onto roads and caused blackouts in Bahasham sub-district. Houses were also damaged in Mai Hia and Nong Hoi sub-districts.
That's a bill, but I will throw down. That's mainly talking about Esau Edom, but it's talking about the other nations too. He throwing down they kingdoms, man. Destroying they shit. Kingdoms is tacky as fuck anyways.
In Lampang, strong winds and hail were reported in Rawchaa and Buang districts, where some houses sustained minor damages, while large trees and gathering poles were downed by the wind. No word was available as to the likely cause of the damage incurred.
Man. Yeah, that's one hailstorm. Here's another one. In China. That was some big ice.
On the evening of March 17th, hailstorms fell suddenly in many places in Guiyang, including Shifeng County, Chiwen County, and Kinzan City in Guiyang, Guizhou.
Cracking the window up.
Monday, the largest hailstone in Chiwen County
Look at
has
that.
a diameter of 30 millimeters, and the visual inspection reaches about 300 to 500 grains per square meter. According to the live video posted by netizens, the hail
There's some big ice, man. Fucking they shit up. That's some plagues, man. Plagues coming across these nations. And they still don't know what's going on. They still won't understand. Now, it's ball size hell in India as well. It's all just hell, all hitting the different places all over the earth around the same time. Ooh, look at that. Some big ass ice cubes.
Rain and hailstorm occurred in some parts of Rajasthan, a state in northern India, due to the effect of western disturbance. This state is reported to have been going on for the last week.
I thought it was windy at camp. Shit, this is windy.
The rains, coupled with hailstorm, left several parts of Rajasthan damaging standing crops, leaving the farmers a worried lot. Weather in Rajasthan changed suddenly since Thursday, bringing a sudden spell of coolest rains and hailstorm blasts certain parts of Jaipur, Sikar, and Jodhpur districts.
Yes, it's a lot of that. Let's pull up the scripture. Let's keep it moving. They don't understand what's going on. They don't understand that the plagues the Lord is sending. And when it says the sin scourges for amendment, it's saying he's sending them for people to see and repent. And just Jacob, just Israel, 1/3 of Israel. He's only sending it to them to repent. That's it. And we got some stuff that's going to go on too, because today's supposed to be the so-called arrest of Trump. And if it does happen, it's going, oh, trust me, they've been protesting about all types of shit. You think there's not going to be no mass ass protests? We're going to see. If he gets arrested, it's going to fulfill prophecy. I'm going to tell you that. We're going to find out. And I know what we're going to keep going. Let me just type this up. Daniel 12:10. Many shall be purified and made white. Who's that? The elect, Lord, will be part of that number. And tried. See, we're going to be tried. Each one of us individually are going to be tried for our faith. We're going to be tried. Period. But the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. See, that's it. Only the wise is going to understand that these are the plagues and it's the end of times, and the Lord is destroying the earth, man, because, you know, Esau, Edom needs to be done away with, but it has to be done decently in order. You know, his apostles and elders, great apostle and elders, a great millstone on down, got to finish their lots and their destinies. They got to fulfill all of it. And then once that's done, the end's gonna come. And they think that, and I was listening to Yahawah Gabar, one of his videos a while ago, and he was talking about, like, you think that the prophets is gonna be out here teaching during the destruction? No, we're gonna be hiding. Lord willing, we're gonna be hiding in the shadow of the Almighty, which is this doctrine. He's gonna have us hidden. And that's why, you know, we're able to show you these things and not be panicking. I'm not going and pulling all my money out the bank, like, oh, what am I gonna do? No, I'm gonna trust you. How about Bahasham and Yahawashi? You know, whatever little provisions I have, I help the brotherhood with it and do what I gotta do with my affairs. That's how I go. You know, there ain't no escaping no destruction, man. You gonna have to. There ain't gonna be nobody waltzing into the kingdom. That's why you got to be tough, because you're gonna see cannibalism. You're gonna see people getting eaten. You're gonna see this kind of shit. Okay, it said that he was not gonna leave the righteous unpunished. We're gonna have to witness everybody dying around us and see the power of the Lord. But we're not gonna fear in that time, you know. And that's what we've been training up to do, is not have fear. That's why they tell you to gird up your loins like a man. Don't be no weak motherfucker about it. Especially when all you're gonna have a lot of us. If you're the servants of the Lord, there's gonna be women that's gonna need your guidance at that time, that are part of the elect. Okay, so you know they might be, you know, and people think of it as like when a woman, when a man says you need to be listening to me and you need to humble yourself to do these things. they think that they lesser, okay, in the way they are, but it doesn't mean like you're not as important, okay? It's a system, okay? And the woman has certain roles, okay? And man has certain roles, but all inevitably, they're all to exalt the name of Yahawashi. That is why we get in order, not for our own detriment. Okay, we get in order because we trying to get back into the graces of Yahawashi. We're not trying to be like, oh yeah, I'm running these women. No, we're trying not to die. We're trying to get saved ultimately. Okay, by the chariots. How do you do that? Following the law, statutes, commandments to the best of your abilities, and fear and meekness and humbleness and fear. You know what I'm saying? And trembling. That's how you're supposed to get back to the Lord. This is why we're doing this, because he said to do it. Okay? You want to do everything he says do, and do everything he says do not do. Or do everything, don't do everything that he says do not do. Salakia. And he said, feed my sheep. How you do that? You gotta do videos, gotta stay with the news, gotta go out and do camp, regardless of what the weather's like. I wanted to go out there and do camp, and it was windy. Okay, it was a little blurry. I still got the lesson that the Lord put the Spirit on me to write down, do all them scriptures. I'm gonna go out and do it again, and then I'm gonna put something on top of that, Lord willing. You know, and that's why Great Mills always says that, Lord willing, because we don't even know if we're gonna be here tomorrow. You know, so every step we do, we always pray the Lord allows us to do it for him. You know, we can't move without Yahawashi, period. Can't move without Yahawashi. But like I said, here they come meeting just before the Sabbath, because the day is the Sabbath. We're doing Tuesday evening and Wednesday evening, you know. You don't want to buy or sell nothing at that time. You know, and as all great millstone members advise, do a 24-hour fast, man. Do a 24-hour fast, get them demons off you, shake them off you, and start from there. You know, and you know, it says if you got to go to work, you got to go to work. You know, we in our captivity. He understands your situation. You know, I got to go to work. I got to go to the plantation today. You know, but you know, and tomorrow. You know, so it is what it is. You know, we by faith. Okay, we're not like the other camps talking about you got to follow all the statutes and commandments or you screw. Well, if that was it, then we'd all be dead because you know we've all transgressed the law. You know, so it's about having that faith and sticking to it to the best of your abilities and sincerity. But like it says, Russia's Putin held special ties with Beijing after Z talks. What is their special ties? What do you think it is? To come up against America, Babylon the Great, and try to change the world order. That's what they want to do. They want to come together and use their strengths and their powers and try to convince everybody else to come do it. But they're not going to convince nobody. Yahawashi is going to bring them together to destroy America, Babylon the Great, which is in Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 4. Okay, we're going to keep reading it because you never know. You got new people coming in that never read it before. Okay. You got people that's just getting in here in this thing, you know. So we try to keep reading that kind of stuff and bring it up because this is the topics. This stuff is happening in the news on a daily. So Ezekiel chapter 38 verse 4, and I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, talking about Russia, and putting hooks in their jaws is talking about making them have that Soviet Union spirit again. He's bringing back to that state of we don't give a fuck. We're gonna do whatever it takes to win. That's that spirit. Now bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, and all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, and the house of Togomar of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are reassembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. See, they're going to go be a guard unto Russia, which is basically the reincarnated Medo-Persian Empire that destroyed Babylon last time, because Babylon had the same system as the new Babylon, which is America. The old Babylon had the Flavians and the patricians, and then the new Babylon, the Great America Babylon the Great, is the Republicans and the Democrats. Okay, and they talking about the leader of the GOP. I did a video about a couple of weeks ago, a month ago. The leading GOP lady or whatever was talking about she want to separate states and make blue states and red states, and it says that a divided house can't stand. So what you think gonna happen in America Babylon the Great? It's gonna be destroyed because it's already been divided since the beginning. But the Lord said that they'll be exalted for a small time. Why? Because we sinned against the Lord, not because they're powerful, but because we sinned against the Lord. So the Lord said, "Hey, I can put whoever in the kingdom who I want." And He gave the wicked a chance to rule. That's why I said, "Let favor be shown to the wicked." He gave them the chance to rule, and He said, "Will they not learn righteousness?" And they didn't, man. So the Lord gonna make them pay for what they did. He gave them all the resources of the earth, and all they done is make weapons and chemicals and death, man. You know, that's all they've ever done with it. And that's what they doing now, talking about some special ties. What? To kill shit. That's all they do. Look what they doing, man. Look what they doing, man. This is all they do is death, famine, pestilence, man. That's what these people do. The other 17, 16 nations that follow Esau Edom into these ways, man. You know? And they think they're doing right, but they're not. So this is Italy's water crisis exacerbated by leaky pipes, data shows. This was released today. We're going to look up that word real fast. So you get a better understanding. That's what you do. You look up words. Exacerbate. Exacerbate. Salakia, that's how you say that. Make a problem, bad situation, or negative feeling worse. That's what they're talking about. Italy's water crisis has gotten worse, and it's going to get worse across the world. Okay, but you know, he's saving America Babylon the Great for last, because all their treasures are stored up. But as it says, look, it says Rome. You know, over there, Rome, Italy, right? Well, this is basically the revived Roman Empire over here, according to Revelation chapter 11, verse 8. But you know, he's attacking, you know, Rome over there as well. So it says Italy is wasting more and more of its water from leaky aqueducts, leaving the country increasingly vulnerable to droughts. International Statistics Bureau ISTAT said on Tuesday. So let's watch this a little bit.
Plant in Carlsbad, California, the largest in the Western Hemisphere, produces.
And it's affecting California too. You know, California been getting smashed on. All that wickedness they did in Hollywood, man. They some wicked ass motherfuckers. They're gonna pay for every fucking thing they did. That's why they're getting hit with all this shit right now. Because there's some wicked motherfuckers in there.
This desalination plant in Carlsbad, California, the largest in the Western Hemisphere, produces 50 million gallons of drinking water daily, enough for 400,000 homes in San Diego County. And now, as Western states face an epic drought, Poseidon Water, which operates the plant, could soon get approval to build another desalination plant.
And what's crazy is, you know how they say Rome and they talking about Italy? Why they bring this up over here? See what I'm saying? Because these people follow Rome here. That's why you got the Colosseum in Rome, and then you got football stadiums here. Those same spirits that are in the football stadiums playing football and doing all that, those are the same spirits that was in the Colosseum. It's the same ones.
This time near a power plant in Huntington Beach. And environmentalists aren't happy about it. It's great to be water independent, and we should be striving for that, but we should be doing it in a responsible way. And desalinated water is not the way to go. Andrea Leon Grossman is with the ocean conservation group Azul. This is the most expensive way to source water. It's the most energy intensive way to do it, and the way it decimates the ocean, both by the intake and by how we're dumping brine back into the ocean, should be the last resort, not the first way we're sourcing water. Desalination, at its most basic, removes salt water from ocean water, making it fresh and drinkable. But the intake method is problematic, according to environmentalists, who say that tiny organisms such as larvae and plankton get killed in the process. Poseidon is now required to add finer intake screens to protect more fish. Poseidon, which has been trying to build the Huntington plant for 22 years, and some $100 million has been spent navigating state regulations, insists the new project will actually help the environment. VP of Poseidon Water, Scott Maloney.
In the case of Huntington Beach, the total quantity of impact would be no more than 0.02% of the plankton at risk of being entrained. There's no threatened or endangered species that are at risk, and the mitigation that's in place will ensure that the project will be a net environmental benefit by producing more habitat than will be impacted by the operation of the facility.
So Esau Edom think they're gonna come up with some shit or whatever, but it says a town in 4 has water loss. A town in 4 has water losses above 55% in 5 areas out of 7. Out of 7, the leaks, Slovakia, are increasing. ISTAT researcher Simona Ranberti told reporters presenting the report. Last week, Environment Minister Gilberto Quintero Fortin said that said in an interview that the government was readying a 7.8 billion euro package to face the water crisis. Blah blah blah. You know, but they indefinitely want there to be a water crisis. Okay. So the people who don't have Yahawashi and Yahawashi are gonna be in fear and be like, "What we gonna do? Well, we gonna drink water? Are we gonna, you know?" They're not gonna get ultimately taken care of in that time. So they got a right to be worried. You should be worried. If you're not following Yahawashi and Yahawashi, this is what they got to say about it. Isaiah chapter 65, verse 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahawashi Yahawashi, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. And that's 2/3 who don't want to come and repent. They don't want to come and repent. They don't want to convert. They don't want to seek the Lord to the best of their abilities. They want to scoff the men of the Lord. And that's scoffing whether you thinking about it, you know, in a way, you thinking about it, or, you know, thinking about them negatively, or coming out verbally with it, you know, or just simply not paying attention to the men of the Lord, you know. And that's mainly talking about the elders and apostles of Great Millstone and the Great Millstone members, and then on down. You know, us down here, we servants. You know, we all servants, but you know, there's still ranking in the body, and we're basically, you know, us new followers. We're in basically a probationary period to see if they're vetting us to see if we're actually sincere and going to actually do this work. You know, because it says don't lay your hands on a man so quickly, okay? Which means don't say this is my brother. And they even went out before I even went off. They said this is a brother, because there was a time I went off and you know I got cast out of the flock, not in a sense where they weren't really dealing with me, okay? Because they wanted to see my patience and my repentance and other things involved with my walk, according to the Spirit of the Lord. But I looked, you know, it was kind of things that the Lord put on me. He said, look, If they wasn't dealing with you, they wouldn't have chastised you first and foremost, because chastising is love. And they would have blocked you. I wouldn't have been able to get on no comic boards. They would have been spreading it all over the brotherhood. Hey, don't fuck with him, you know. But I'm still here doing the work, and now I'm starting to actually have some brothers in GMS actually, you know, recognize me. You know, I'm not saying that they come and talk or me or whatever, or try to acknowledge me as like I'm some great teacher or something. No, they just acknowledge that, hey, he stuck around for a little bit. Let's keep vetting him and see if he's gonna stay with the truth. And that's what kind of person you got to be. You got to be someone who endures. If you can't even endure them trying to tell you to fix your shit, what makes you think they're gonna trust you in their day of trouble? What makes you think they're gonna think that you're gonna be around? You know, we're here for the brotherhood because those are the only ones who are indefinitely tied to Bahasham Yahawashi. Ezekiel 34 verse 31. His pasture is a flock of men. If you got a problem with any of those men, then you got a problem with the Lord. Period. You got a problem with the Lord. And I'm not saying that if you don't watch the video or whatever, as soon as we drop it or whatever, that don't mean nothing. You know, it's not about that. You guys all your own stuff going on in your life. You know, it's a patient race. It's about going back and making sure you're edified. Go listen to these videos, and they dropping so many videos. I'll be like, man, I need to hurry up. But I got to remember, have that patience. Have that patience, especially when the Lord brings you to a lower state. Because the Lord bring me to a lower state, and He's balancing me out right now. He's balancing me out right now, giving me that peace and assurance. Hey, I told you I got you. I told you I got you. It was all that time, you know, dealing with all those struggles. You're dealing with the child's father. You're dealing with people saying you in a cold. Dealing with people saying, oh, well, I know why you believe in that because you broke. Because you ain't make it here. Well, it says that the poor will believe in it. Why? Because that's who he's coming for. He's coming for the meek, the low, and the humble. Okay? He's not coming for nobody who just like, we the shit out here. We good. You know, getting money from Esau Edom. Getting a little 2,000 a month, 4,000 a month, so they feel like it's great here. But they don't understand that there's no sovereignty here. Okay? You gotta get everything from this fucking devil. We're not submitting to that shit. Okay? We're gonna submit to Yahawashi and He's gonna take care of us. That's how we know everything that we get. It comes from Yahawashi. So if He makes you where you're fucking poor as fuck and you're sleeping on the street, Yahawashi did it. You know? And that's why I said don't be someone to convert the judgment just because somebody's poor. I was saying that in camp. Okay, but I need to go back and do it again because it was so windy. I'm talking about I was screaming to the top of my lungs, and I still couldn't even hear some of the things that I said. You know, but you know, I'm gonna go redo that camp, and then I'm gonna take down the other camp. You know, and most likely, more of the time, most people don't even listen to my videos this long. Okay, so this is more just to exalt the name of the Lord. You know, He knows that I'm working. You know, that's what it comes down to, inevitably. Lord knows that I'm staying in prophecy, and actually I haven't been doing nothing but studying and doing lessons, and you know, go to the plantation. I'll be listening to lessons at the plantation with my headphones in. Okay, I'll be listening. Okay, every now and then I'll just listen to some instrumentals by myself, and then I watched. There's a little show I used to watch or whatever that was on Netflix. I watched a little season of that one night. I binge watched a whole bunch of shows one night, and I think that's probably the only time I've ever done anything other than this. Okay, and that even taught me something about Yahawashi, you know, and how it all turned out, you know, because inevitably the Lord makes the movies, you know, and I want to actually do a land back about a video that one of the elders and apostles did about this movie called Great State. And I found out that the guy who was supposed to drop the movie, because they were saying go watch it, right? Well, you can't go watch it because the dude was killed. Okay, just before he got to drop it, it didn't come to pass. He was killed, and he was talking about this very thing, the MOTV, the race riots, the killing in the street. Okay, he was talking about all that. He was finna push it out there. All they got is the documentary and people talking about it, and that's it. They don't even got the movie, you know. And this is all through the plan of Esau Edom. Okay, he's and it's definitely the Lord, but I'm talking about this the plan that the Lord gave them. Okay, Revelation 17:17. That's why they think they are God. Okay, because the Lord gave them the plan and said, "We're gonna make you think like you God, and make you think your shit gonna work. It ain't gonna work." So now we're gonna go right here. Said Russia blasts UK move to send ammo with depleted uranium to Ukraine. So this is Britain. Okay, says Russian on Tuesday condemned British plans to send ammunition that contains depleted uranium to Ukraine. A move Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu said left fewer and fewer steps before a potential nuclear collision between Russia and the West. Okay, but it's going to inevitably end up like this. Okay, Isaiah. I don't got to read too much into it because we just read it to wake up Jake, a third of Jake. Okay, that's supposed to get to repent and convert. That's all we do this for, to get them to compel them to come into the truth. That's it. 2/3 already lost. They're not coming in. Okay, they're already meant to because they're the ones who said, "Let his blood be on our hands." Well, it is. It's going to be 200 intercontinental ballistic missiles. That's going to blow your ass up. That's why I said, don't worry about the multitude that perish, because it has been ordained for them to perish. You got to start thinking more like Bahasham and Rawchaa. Everything he does is just. Whether it's somebody you know that you've seen your whole life and you love, not saying we want them to perish, but they gonna perish. And that's why I said don't convert the judgment. They gonna perish if they don't come to this doctrine. Period. I tell my own immediate family, you don't come to this doctrine, you gonna die. You know, and I still be around them and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like they help me out with things, take me to work sometimes, all that. But I don't pervert judgment. I say, hey, you better convert or you gonna die. Okay? That's how it goes. Isaiah chapter 50, verse 11. Behold, all ye that kindle a fire that compass yourselves about with sparks, walk in the light of your fire, and in the sparks that ye have kindled. This shall ye. Oh, wait. Isaiah, Salakia. It's Isaiah 51. Salakia, it's Isaiah 51:11. And this is talking about Great Britain. So it says, actually, Salakia is Jeremiah 50:11. And this is one that I remember done it several times, but repetition is very repetition is key for the Lord. So Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 11, and it was talking about these Edomites. They rejoicing because they have, you know, done whatever. They took over whatever, you know, they took over Israel and whatever else they've taken over in the world, which is everything. But he's mainly talking about destroyers of his heritage, Israel. So because you were glad, because you rejoice, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye have grown fat as the heifer at grass and bellow as bulls, talking about all their money, because it says through that traffic, they've gained these riches through their slavery, slaving Israel. Jeremiah verse 12, and it reads, your mother shall be sore confounded, which is who? Great Britain. They birthed in America, Babylon the Great. When you go read in, when you go look at the war in 1702, the Queen Anne's War, Great Britain, Spain, and all them went and took over the northern kingdoms and the so-called Indians, so-called Native Americans. Okay, to take over this place because the Native Americans was already here. So your mother shall be sore confounded. Why? Because this place is wicked as fuck, and they're gonna hate everything that America Babylon the Great does in the end. She that bear you shall be ashamed. They're gonna be ashamed. Then it says, behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land in the desert. And they're gonna help because they're gonna be ashamed of what has become of America Babylon the Great. So inevitably, they're going to switch sides. And that's what prophesying is, telling you this is what's going to happen. They're going to switch sides. If you think it's not, when it happens, you're going to realize that there was prophets among you. And Great Millstone has been warning since that time, especially about the CBDC system. That's been warned and talked about, for 40 years by Great Millstone. And that time's going to come where everybody's going to realize, yep, they were the ones that are right. It's going to be too late. You're not going to be able to go. The doors of salvation is closed whenever the Akim stop teaching this truth. That's when it's going to be closed. So we're going to speed this up a little bit. It's talking about LA school strike. News: 420,000 students sit home as preachers work in a 3-day protest. And look, they doing a doggone show. They think that shit is going to change some shit.
Fight strike.
Hold on. Let's start it back.
Now to breaking news. The strike is officially on. That word from the LAUSD superintendent moments ago. A last-minute effort to avoid a 3-day LA unified strike has fizzled. Parents scrambling to find last-minute childcare can turn to LA County Parks, which will offer activities at 16 locations, or city parks, which will offer programs to help.
You saw it's just a 1-minute video. You got to put in 2 cents. Energy and integrity matters. Energy and integrity matters, right, Esau? Why the fuck ain't you out there helping out your teachers? Because he's a nigger that is on table. You don't give a fuck about them. NHS strike suspended after new pay offer. See? They gave him some bullshit ass pay, and they out there talking about they there to help you. These motherfucking demons ain't to help you, man. Unions have suspended further strikes by ambulance and other NHS staff and will recommend acceptance of new pay offer to NHS workers. If our pay doesn't rise, we will together rise. The breakthrough follows the days of the talks of the government over a long time running pay dispute. See, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. They've been pissed off for a minute, man. And just like it says in the second address, we read it all the time over here in this camp. It's simple. You stick with the basics. You're supposed to go learn the tough stuff, all the stuff that you can't figure out, the dark sayings from the elders and apostles. That's who's teaching it. Second Ezra chapter 9 verse 3. Therefore, there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars in the people in the world, because Jake don't like thinking deep. So we try to keep it simple. Us servants at the bottom, because Jake always want to be all fucking. They want to act like they know everything. So we just keep it simple. There ain't going to be no way Jay can deny it. Second Ezra chapter 9 verse 4. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. That's what's going on. He spoke that this stuff was going to come to pass. So now we got NYPD tighten security, fearing protests over likely Trump indictment. So there's some more protests. It's gonna get bad.
New York, the police have tightened security ahead of a possible indictment of Donald Trump, the former president, over hush money paid to a foreign actress. Trump, who is seeking the Republican nomination for the White House again in 2024, predicted he would be arrested today. On Saturday, Trump urged his followers on social media to protest what he said was his looming arrest. Many of Trump's supporters, however, have opted not to heed to Trump's call, fearing that it may be a trap by the feds and liberal groups.
See, they said, fuck that. We're going to do what we want to do. That's how Edomites do. You tell them not to do some shit, they going to fucking do it, man. Every fucking time. Even the Trump followers, Trump said, don't do it. They said, fuck you. We going to do it. That's how Esau Edom does. They just do whatever the hell they want. They going to ride, okay? This is what the Lord does. This is what he going to do.
Stormy Daniels, the porn star, says that she had an affair with Trump. She claims the former U.S. president gave her $130,000 before the 2016 election to not discuss the encounter. Trump has maintained that nothing of that sort ever happened, and in 2018 told reporters that he knew nothing about any payments made. If Trump is charged, it would mark the first ever indictment of a former U.S. president. Trump's former personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, was sentenced to prison for orchestrating hush payments to Daniels and another woman, former Playboy model Karen McDougal. Karen McDougal says that she had a months-long affair with Trump before he took office. Trump says this is all a political witch hunt. He says it's an attempt to take down the leading candidate in the Republican Party. Trump's fellow Republicans have widely criticized the probe as being politically motivated. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, Trump's rival for the Republican presidential nomination, said the district attorney was imposing a political agenda. However, he also took a veiled swipe at Trump himself. Take a listen.
I don't know what goes into paying hush money to a porn star to secure silence over some type of alleged affair. I can't speak to that.
Trump is facing multiple legal challenges and investigations. Cases include his handling of classified documents and his alleged efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. Okay, for more on this, we are joined by Ray Locker. He's an author, journalist, and columnist. He's joining us live from Washington, D.C. Ray, welcome back to WeOn. Great to have you. So, former President Donald Trump claims that he will be arrested today. A rumor that he started himself. We don't know that this will happen. Actually, there are reports.
See, that's what I'm saying. They be talking a whole bunch of shit. They don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. But as you can see, what basically is saying is this man might have slept with them females, whatever. You know what I mean? When it really comes down to it, you know, it is adultery because he's married. But what is mainly coming down to is that these motherfuckers is all some liars, okay? And they want to act like the presidency is like such a great people, okay? And these niggas is demons, okay? And they want to kind of pin this dude, Trump, and be like, oh, well, you know, he slept with this female, okay? How much wicked shit has this nation done, man? You bombed 2 cities to establish this, and now you're trying to implement a CHIP, and you're doing a fucking man-made famine and a man-made crash. But you want to talk about your own people sleeping with some prostitute when you literally promote prostitution in Hollywood. You promote sex all throughout the U.S., but then you got a problem when people do it. That's what I'm talking about. This place is backwards, man. There's some wicked ass motherfuckers who want to act like they're righteous, and you motherfuckers is gonna die for that. Okay, saith the Lord. You're gonna pay for it. What it say? What it say? Because y'all just a fucking group of fucking liars, man. Said y'all born out the womb speaking lies. That's all y'all do. Y'all just a system. You're the real plague in the earth, just going around speaking lies. Revelations chapter 20, verse 8. But the fearful, ones who don't want to repent and convert, which is 2/3, talking about I don't want to get left down again. I don't want to get fucked over again. All right, cool. And unbelieving, and the abominable, and murderers, and whoremongers, and sorcerers, and adulterers, and all liars, shall have their part in the lake which burns with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. So they talk about how, like, how you gonna die if your spirit is they try to say that in church your spirit get taken, you die and then you go get your spirit taken and then they cast you to hell and then you burn. Well, if you die, okay, this already shows that reincarnation is true, because it said the second death. You can't die unless you're alive on the earth. How are you gonna die again? By getting brought back to die. The first death was the flood. This is the second one, and it's going to be through intercontinental ballistic missiles. That's why they're being tested and all that from the other nations to destroy this place. So these people are just liars, man. You can't trust these people. Whatever they talking about, Esau, Edom, and set the narrative. Ultimately, Yahawashi does, but it says that we will not be foolish of Satan's devices. We know why the fuck they're doing this. They move the media with this kind of shit before they do shit. This is how they do shit. So right here, you're just talking about Lake Powell. Lake Powell, Grant, and Mud glaciers are on the moon. On the move.
It's difficult to fathom how the Colorado River could possibly carve the mile-deep chasm that is the Grand Canyon. But if one thinks of the river as a flume of liquid sandpaper rubbing the land over millions of years, it begins to make sense. The finest workers in stone are not copper or steel tools, Henry David Thoreau wrote, but the gentle touches of air and water working at their leisure with a liberal allowance of time. In 1963, humans stopped time when the brand new Glen Canyon Dam on the Utah-Arizona border cut off the reddish sediment that naturally eroded the Grand Canyon. Today the river runs vodka clear from the base of the dam. But the silt never ceased arriving in Lake Powell, the reservoir above the dam. Each day on average for the past 60 years, the equivalent of 61 supersized Mississippi River barge loads of sand and mud have been deposited there. The total accumulation would bury the length of Manhattan to a depth of 126 feet, close to the height of a 12-story building. For years, this mud was hidden beneath Lake Powell's blue waters. Now, as climate change and overuse of the Colorado have drawn the reservoir down to record lows, the silt is exposed, forming mud glaciers. And because of a gradient created when the lake level falls, the giant mud blobs are moving at a rate of 100 feet or more per day toward the dam. These advancing mud blobs pose existential threats to the water supply of the Southwest. One day they could form a constipating plug that blocks Glen Canyon, preventing the water from flowing downriver. They could also someday endanger the structural integrity of the dam. Asked about the dangers that the sediment pose, Floyd Dominy, the commissioner of the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation in 1963, later quipped, "We will let people in the future worry about it. Now the future is here."
And what happened in 1963? What happened? That was when John F. Kennedy was murdered. Okay, when he was talking about there's a conspiracy, blah blah blah, and then when you really go search into the videos, there's a video that GMS and the Truth for Orlando did that he got from Elder Yahawah showing this this so-called equality race, right? And it says basically from the starting time we got down here all the way to 1964, we were basically fucked off. And then when we got into this place, they had all these traps set up. Okay. And that was the conspiracy he was talking about. What's that conspiracy? Psalms 83, to keep Israel out of remembrance. Okay. That NWO, the elites, man. People been talking about it. There used to be plenty of scoffers talking about there ain't no global people taking over the world. Where all them people at? They ain't saying that shit now. So, you know, this is just a little video. You can go watch it. Dropped it about a day ago. So Crash and Crisis just starting. Robert Kayowski just blasted the U.S. central banks, caused the Fed both firemen and arson. Here are the 3 assets he likes. Shock proofing. Now, you know, this is one of these guys who's been, you know, in the stock market for a long time. Let me see if I can find the face of him. I can't find him, but basically, let me pull him up. This guy, and he's been in the stock markets and doing stuff like that for a long time. And he's saying that shit's fucked up. This guy, right here, he's been in business for a long time. American Entrepreneur Businesses are the founder of Rich Global LLC. See, they got bread. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, inevitably ain't about shit. You know, he just, you know, that's more people talking about the collapse that's coming. Okay, here's another one. Hold on, let's do this first. We're going to do 2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear to be unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. See what I'm saying? They're suddenly going to be found empty. Suddenly. That's what's going to happen. So now we're going to go over here, and it says Amazon cutting 9,000 more jobs, adds to 18,000 announced in January. And this, when I was at Amazon, I was telling them, I was telling people that was up there working at Amazon that they was going to start getting fired because they ain't going to make enough bread. This place is coming to the ground. Niggas looking at me like I was crazy. Motherfuckers was talking about I'm the problem. Now look, now your ass ain't got no job. And the Lord gave me another job. So now what? You know, and the people still out here up there still got their job. Don't worry. It ain't like we said. Like I said when I was up there, there's gonna be fucking hella job cuts. And by the end of this year, ain't none of y'all gonna be in that motherfucker. Why? Because they got machines. They don't need your ass no more. Okay? I even had at my job they was talking about, oh, they got machines that's gonna run the whole fucking restaurant in 10 years. You see what I'm saying? But we're not gonna be here that long, man. We're not gonna be here not even half that time. Lord willing. Okay? We might not even be here for 2 years. We might not even fucking be here tomorrow. Y'all don't understand the anger of the Lord. Okay? He said he's gonna shorten time. You think he's gonna give you 10 more years of America, Babylon the Great?
If your child has diabetes,
be
you'll
fucking
love
wicked.
how
Just be fucking wicked when your sins already reached the hill, the already reached heaven. No, he's gonna fuck this shit up, man. And that's what he's doing right now. But the wicked still won't understand. They'll just keep doing wicked shit. Keep thinking that they're gonna last here, man.
Fits in with Amazon's strategy and the amount of cuts we've already seen. What can you tell us about where this fits in with Amazon's strategy and the amount of cuts we've already seen?
So I think it's interesting I don't know if you guys have already talked about this. I was just getting ready to come on TV, but where they're taking place, right? You've got Amazon Web Services and advertising. We know that these are some of the growthiest and also very much so the most profitable parts of Amazon. So it's interesting that they're taking place here. And like David was just talking about, it took time to figure out where they needed to cut. So maybe these weren't the obvious places, but when they look at becoming a more lean organization, even these...
Look at them, man. They used to be them motherfuckers up there, okay? Now they broke as fuck.
Growthier ones, parts of the company get cut. But when you look at an AWS, and we've talked a lot about this, the growth rate used to be in the 30s, 40s%. That is expected to drop to the mid-teens in the current quarter and potentially decelerate even more throughout the year. So it makes sense that they were cutting here. They cut 17,000 not long ago, 18,000, excuse me, earlier this year. This is an additional 9,000. So I'm not sure where that brings it, but remember they hired, it doesn't make too much of a dent in terms of that pandemic hiring, which of course includes the factories, the warehouses. So this is part of them getting all of that in line. And when you look at some of the metrics of Amazon versus other big tech, I mean, this is an expensive company. They have a lot of levers that they can, and you might argue should be pulling, because that core business is just not it's not very profitable at all. That is e-commerce.
That's a great point.
See, that's all they give a fuck. All they give a fuck about is if they're making money. If you're not making no money, they gonna drop your ass. So everybody over there thinking they the shit or whatever, or they Amazon proud, your ass gonna get cut. Okay, eventually. Especially the more technological they get. Okay, they don't give a fuck about people, man. They're demons. Okay, that's why the Lord had me indefinitely fired from there or whatever. You know what I'm saying? For standing up for Bahasham and Yahawashi. And I should have been talking about it at work, but I was new in the truth, and I was like, fuck y'all Edomites. Y'all gonna fucking go down for what y'all did. Fuck y'all. I lost my job, but it definitely bring me to the right position where I'm at now. You know? I'm way better off than what I was at when I was over there. So this is another one talking about nearly 200 U.S. banks could collapse, like Silicon Valley Bank, Warren study. And that's going to happen. The whole system's going to fail. And this was going to happen inevitably. People going to be walking around here panicking and shit. Freaking the fuck out. And we done, the elders and apostles on down been telling your motherfucking ass for the longest time. You know, and I remember listening to them. They said that they had somebody listening for 10 years. One of these guys, and he ain't never went to the highways and byways. He ain't never go teach. Well, then what the fuck are you doing, man? That's what we're here for. As men, we're supposed to take this knowledge, retain it, and go teach it. You see what I'm saying? What we do know, we go teach it and go back and learn more and keep the race. Because you got to use your gifts. Isaiah chapter 19 verse 15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. See what I'm saying? There's not going to be no work left. Okay, they're going to cut all that shit because all the banks are going to fail. They're going to fail, man. Here's another one. Credit Suze's death or whatever gives birth to new type of bank crisis. See, there's going to be a new bank crisis. UBS buys Credit Suze for $3 billion when the intangible book value credit Suze was $45 billion. Tangible to book value means little, says this report, and WSJ more significant for investors than Credit Suze was losing business billions each year, and its governance, and that's what America, Babylon, the Bear, that's what it's like. This place is losing. They're losing, and they just keep bailing themselves out. That's how it's always been, losing, bailing themselves out, slowly being destroyed. That's how this place is. Now it says FSP researchers track seaweed masses visible from space. Look at all that seaweed, man. All that right there got sucking oxygen out the ocean. Because I did a video about it. It said for the past 7 years, national agencies have tasked researchers at the University of South Florida State, Petersburg, with tracking ever-growing accumulation of what most people refer to as seaweed. See, they referring to as seaweed, but that shit is not the same shit, man. That shit is sucking water out of the ocean. You got over there in Australia, all the fish is dead. So Dr. Charmin Hugh, a professor at the College of Marine Science, takes the issue with most publications calling the floating sargassum bloom a blob He said it is a belt, and while it now stretches from the coast of Africa to the Caribbean, is not continuous. That said, this mass is roughly 5,000 miles long, twice the length of the U.S., and visible from space. And it began and began as an anomaly in 2011, now breaking size records. And when was that? What was that calendar that Issachar talked about? December 12th, 2021. Or yeah, or no, December 12th, 2012. So see, this is the Lord's bringing this place to the ground, man. Fucking up all the water, fucking up all the shit. And they was even talking about they using some of it to make money off of it. Well, they were just saying you got to be careful how you use it because it's poisoning people, but they don't give a fuck. There's gonna be more people that get fucked off. So there's that guy talking about U.S. inflation is now systematic. Said Fed chair was lying through his teeth. And what did it say? They liars, man. They born out the womb speaking lies, man. So is his ass. Straight liars. So now we got this urgent threat. This came out today. CDC warns against Candida auris, a drug-resistant fungus invading healthcare facilities. Let's watch this.
Disease Control and Prevention is warning about a rare and sometimes deadly fungal disease that's spreading through the U.S. The fungus C. auris affects primarily seniors and those with a weak immune system. It rejects treatments from traditional antifungal medications.
And who's got the weak system? A lot of people in America, Babylon the Great, because they're eating that fast food. They don't want to fast. They don't want to drink enough water, you know, whatever it may be. You know, and the food's all defiled anyways. But just the fact that, you know, there's ones that know it's defiled and they're like, whatever, I'm going to still keep eating this sludge, man. You're going to be more likely to catch this kind of shit.
Which could explain the dramatic increase in cases, reports The Hill. Its mortality rate is 60%. The pace in which it's being contracted is moving dramatically. In 2020, only 751 cases were reported. In 2021, increased to 1,474 cases. And 2022 saw a total of 2,377 confirmed cases in the U.S. Experts believe the COVID-19 pandemic worsened the spread of the fungus, as its attention to the virus meant there was less emphasis on screening for the fungus.
You're going to see. This ain't even this. They gonna add this with the whole bird flu thing. They gonna cause a pandemic. They gonna shut shit down. They gonna take over shit. And when it happens, this is what's gonna happen. Second Esdras, chapter 15, verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Why? Because of martial law. Because they're going to say there's sickness and pestilences, and they're going to say that there's war on the brink. They're going to come up with everything they got to come up with. They just had a video talking about Walmart said they were shut down because of all the thefts. Man, they know people stealing that shit, man. They make a whole lot of money. Walmart make a lot of money. You know, they got people going in and out of every day. How they going to say that they're going to shut it down because of thefts? Because that's the Lord got the spirit on them, getting ready to make them concentration camps, getting ready to issue in that Quran. Okay, and they use the media and the news to make people think like, oh, what do we do? And they try to say, well, do this, you know, or put fear into the people. But everybody who believes Yahawashi and Yahawashi and Great Millstone, we don't got no fear. We take these scriptures and we put them into the news and show you, hey, look, they're going to plan to do this. They're inevitably going to do this. That's prophesying, saying this is what it's going to lead to, you know, and that's what people are not understanding. You know, people coming against the men of the Lord and saying, man, well, y'all going off. You know, I'm talking about these other camps, first and foremost. They're going off and trying to be like, you know, The end isn't here. A lot of them is partying and chilling, and you know, they're not even telling you to get ready for trouble, you know, because they inevitably paid off by the so-called white man. Yep. Yeah, we'll pull that up next. Usually, you know, we have put it on the comment board, but I'll post it up, man. Shalom, man. I'll post it up. I'll pull it up next, and then we'll close out. The second Ezra chapter 15, verse 18 reads, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the house shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." Shalom, man. Shalom. Shalom, man. So we're gonna do the 1 John. We're gonna pull that up. 4:18. Let's pull that up. And this is a good point. This is a good scripture. Soak the water. So, which means thank you, Paleo Hebrew. So, like, if you didn't know. So, 1 John chapter 4, verse 18. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear, because fear hath torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in love. See, that's a good one. That's a good one. But you know, there's two different types of fear. You know, that these are the people who fear in the so-called white man. But you got another type of fear that is, you know, of the Lord and following the statute and commandments. We're gonna pull this up. As it said, the fear of the Lord is his treasure and in the beginning of wisdom. So, you know, these people got fear in the so-called white man. But, you know, because he can take away your body with the sword. But he's supposed to fear Bahasham Yahawashi because he can take away the body and the soul. So we're going to pull this up. But these people have no fear of the Lord. That's why I said the wicked will not understand. And if you don't understand, how could you have fear in the Lord if you have no understanding? You know, that's how it is. Oh, Shalom, Shalom. Call on Yahabashim, Hawashai, Bahasham, Hawakah, Qadash. Water for tuning in. GMS in his likeness, man. I follow a lot of your videos, man. Y'all done a lot of work for the Lord. We want to say the water for all y'all done for us, man. Y'all done a lot for us. We here to, you know, continue to work and do the best we can to exhort the name of Yahweh Shem Hawashai and represent the brotherhood. Shalom. But Matthew 10:28, this is Yahawashi said this himself, and fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, which is Esau Edom. He can kill your body. Yeah, he can take you out, but it's Yahweh Shem Hawashai, take your soul. It says, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. And basically, you got these churches out there, they try to say hell is, you know, you die and go burn forever, but we all know that that's not true. You know, it's the hell is the conditions of living under your enemies, for one, on this earth, and also the grave. You know, that's why I said that once a soul dies, then comes the judgment, because you got to go to the throne of Yahweh Shem Hawashai, and then you got to come back down here, just like it says in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 16. And I saw under the sun the place of judgment, and that's what Esau Edom. They don't tell our people that. You know, that's why 2/3 is they lost, man. And but it's ordained for them to lost. It's ordained for them to be lost. That's why it says don't worry about them. For the multitude that perish, we need to worry about the ones that are focusing on salvation, which is the brotherhood, man. They're the only ones who've been out here for us, you know, and they don't understand that the rebukes that they give us is to show that's that love, you know, and they're telling us to strengthen ourselves, because how you gonna be ready on the day of judgment if you can't even receive chastisement? It's gonna be dead bodies all over the place. It's gonna be people that you used to know. It's gonna be people that you see, you know, that you used to see in your daily, you know, basis. You know, these people is gonna be lying around dead, man. You know, and Like, you can't pervert the judgment of the Lord. You know, like, I got my immediate family still around me. I tell them, hey, you better convert to Yahawashi Yahawashi. He gonna put you to death, because we all got a trial all alone. We all got to have our own separate trial. The Lord gonna test us. You know, this is the only way we can come together. It's through this unicorn, as it speaks in Job. You know, and you know, some you know, we go fellowship at camp and do that. You know, but you know, it's to strengthen our faith. So when that trial comes, man, we come out on the other side together. But we all got our own trials we got to face. You know, I'm facing some before we even get there, but I know it's the Lord strengthening me to be ready. To be ready, so when that time gets tough, you're gonna be like, man, you've been going through tough stuff right now. You know, you've been going through tough stuff, and people falsely accusing you, people saying you in a cult, people saying, you know, you're being misled. You know, but it says, you know, you're blessed when people depart from you, and people, you know, cast out your name as evil. Okay, because in the end, Yahawashi and Yahawashi, and the servant's gonna get the last laugh. We're gonna be out here eating, and people gonna be coming up with that stigma and all that shame on them, because they're gonna have that damn C-hip in. They're gonna be like, yep, told your ass. Now ain't no saving you now, because once the servants are off the streets, once we off the streets doing out here teaching in all types of weather, all types of shit going on, having to redo lessons because of, you know, whatever reason. But that's what I had to do yesterday. It was so windy yesterday, man. I'm talking about, I had to put my camera up and like tie it to this post. It was blowing over and over again. Like, it was, man. But you know, I want to go back and do that lesson because I know the Lord put the spirit on me to do it, because it was you know, just basically talking about the fall of Esau, Edom. You know, we do repetition here, you know, and that's what it's about. It's about repetition, you know. And I'm not saying I'm part of GMS. I'm just a follower, of course, you know. But you know, we believe in Great Millstone over here, man. That's, if you're a man coming into this truth, you ultimately want to be just like Great Millstone. You want to be out there teaching, learning every day. You even got some of our elders, they still talk about they learn stuff every day. You know, so it's a never-ending process. The Lord's infinite. But man, to Walter, for y'all tuning in, you know, and y'all stay prayed up out there. I gotta get myself ready to go to the doggone plantation, man. Gotta get myself ready. But Water, for y'all tuning in, man. Calling you, how about Shem outside by Shem Qadash. Want to give double honors to the elders apostles of Great Millstone who led me to this truth. And I'm gonna stay in the faith, and Lord willing, come back with another lesson and be able to get out there to the highways and byways. Sometimes I got to do it late because I got to go back to the plantation tomorrow, but you know, we're gonna do it. The water. And I'll make sure I keep sharing you brothers, you know, GMS. We make sure Adam, make sure you sharing GMS, all GMS and their videos. Share them around, post them, you know, on your community board. Go around, because that's what we're supposed to be doing as the new followers. We're supposed to be keeping it simple, you know, putting in stuff, you know, because you know, you're gonna have those new followers come in and be like, what they talking about? And they say, this is where I got it from, GMS. You really need to listen to these brothers. You know, that's really what our main job is. Filtering these scriptures, you know, because we still learning the truth. We babies in this truth, man. You even got some people in GMS that's still babies in the truth. You know, compared to the apostles, man, they've been out here 40 years plus, man. You know, we entered into other men's labors, you know, so we want to make sure that we're leading people to their pages more first and foremost. Lord kind of put spirit on me to kind of bring that out. Yeah, make sure you sharing their stuff, okay? And make sure if you got a job, make sure you find one of the elders and apostles or one of the brothers to go listen to their videos. They might be dealing with something. Maybe they got an oil leak or something. Try to tithe to them and give them that assurance that the Lord is looking out for them. You know, they already got it, but it's just a good way to show that, you know, their work is not in vain. And that's another thing, GMS and his likeness. Y'all got anybody in the brotherhood that need help? I got a little bit of provisions, you know, working and stuff. Y'all let me know, and I want to help out. You know, that's what we're here for, to help out the brotherhood, man. Y'all done so much for us, you know, through the chastisement, through all that. Y'all made men out of us, so we ready to serve you. How about Yahawashi with y'all? edify his name. So shalom, y'all. Stay prayed up. Call on Bahasham, Yahawashi. Lord willing, we can tune in again and be able to breathe another day. Serve Bahasham, Yahawashi. Shalom, y'all. Shalom.